And I would rather be a blind. The skies above.
Good? Yeah, how do you stay looking so fabulous?
I don't know. Maybe because Beyonce came along and I'm trying to keep up with her.
You've probably heard At Last or I'd Rather Go Blind, those songs that hit you right in the feels. Etta James wasn't just singing, she was laying her soul bare and you felt every second of it. But behind that jaw-dropping voice was a life packed with drama, chaos, and stories that could fill a dozen movies. Let's unpack the whirlwind of Etta's life, the hits, the struggles, and the legacy that still sends shivers down our spines.
And as a child, my mother was a real jazz lover and everything, and so I had been through those same experiences.
Etta James didn't exactly get the easiest start in life. Born in Los Angeles to a teenage mom, her early days were all over the place. With no stable home, she bounced between foster parents, making her childhood a constant shuffle.
Briefly to say that your mother would tell you different stories about who your dad was.
Right.
But at one point she pointed at the TV, said, "Minnesota Fats, that's your dad. You saw the resemblance, and tell me what it was like when you finally ran into him." And
Even with all the chaos in her life, her talent was impossible to ignore. She started belting it out in a church choir in LA, and her voice was straight up unforgettable. Packed with emotion and power, it didn't take long for people to notice she had something seriously special. Etta's obsession with music only grew as she dove into gospel. By her teens, she had teamed up with some friends to form a group called the Creolettes. That's when fate stepped in. She caught the attention of Johnny Otis, a big-name band leader who saw her star power and decided to help her out. That connection kick-started her journey into the music scene. Her big moment came when she dropped The Wallflower, aka Roll With Me Henry, and it blew up. That hit opened the door for her to play around with different styles and prove she could crush it in any genre.
Present to you your first Grammy Award. Best Jazz Vocal Performance, 1994. Mystery Lady, songs of Billie Holiday, Miss Etta James.
Etta's early days in the music scene were all about talent meeting the right opportunity. As a teenager, her killer voice caught the ear of Johnny Otis, a major player in the industry. He was blown away by her raw power and stage energy, instantly seeing her star potential. With Johnny Otis backing her, Etta and her group, the Peaches, dropped their first big hit, The Wallflower, aka Roll With Me, Henry. The track was a fun, flirty clapback to Hank Ballard's Work With Me, Annie, and it shot straight to the top of the R&B charts. It was proof that Etta's voice could bring both soul and sass, making her a standout from the start.
All right. You better roll while the rolling is on. Roll on, roll on.
The Wallflower launched Etta straight into the limelight. Her fiery, soulful voice made her impossible to miss in a sea of talent. As she kept climbing, she didn't stick to just one sound. Etta experimented with different styles, earning a name as an artist who could pour her heart into anything she sang.
And I would rather be a blind.
She faced some tough battles off stage, including a struggle with addiction that started in her teens. Just as her career was taking off, the pressure of fame and the chaos of the music world, mixed with her own insecurities, pushed her toward heroin. It was a dark chapter in her journey. Heroin became a major part of Etta's life, and it didn't take long for it to wreak havoc. It messed with her health, led to missed gigs, and caused tension with the people around her. Even with all her talent, addiction had a way of stealing the spotlight, casting a shadow over her career. Her fight with addiction was anything but easy. She checked into rehab more than once, determined to break free from heroin's grip. But each time she tried to turn things around, she found herself back at square one. It was a constant uphill battle. Addiction also landed her in hot water with the law. She got arrested multiple times for drug-related stuff, which just piled on the stress in her life. The legal issues and the shame that came with addiction made everything even harder for her to handle. Her first big arrest happened when she was caught trying to cash a fake prescription, which landed her in jail. Rehab could only keep her clean for so long before relapses sent her right back into more legal trouble. In the 70s, Etta was in and out of jail like it was part of her routine. One major arrest went down in 1972 when she got busted for heroin possession and being involved in a drug ring. These legal issues hit her hard, throwing a wrench in her career and personal life. Every time she got locked up, it messed with her ability to perform, record, and keep things professional. She wasn't just battling addiction. Her health also gave her a run for her money. She had a bunch of medical problems that took a toll on her personal life and career, making things even more complicated for the legend. As Etta got older, she struggled with her weight, which brought on a bunch of health issues. It made it hard for her to keep up the energy needed for her performances. On top of her weight struggles, Etta was also hit with diabetes, which she had to manage carefully. It wasn't just something that could be ignored, it messed with her day-to-day life and made it even harder to keep up with performing. In her later years, Etta got hit with one of her toughest battles: leukemia. It was a huge blow, but true to form, she took it head-on with that same toughness and resilience that had always been her thing. She went through treatment and kept blessing the world with her amazing voice whenever she could. Etta had her fair share of drama, and one of the biggest moments was when she threw some serious shade at Beyoncé performing "At Last" at Obama's inaugural ball. It definitely turned some heads.
That I could speak to.
So, Etta didn't hold back after Beyoncé sang "At Last" at the inauguration. During a show in Seattle, she straight up said, "That woman singing my song for him, she's gonna get her ass whipped." Yeah, she wasn't too thrilled about Bey taking on her iconic hit at such a huge moment. Naturally, Etta's comment caused a huge stir and kicked off a bit of a drama between her and Beyoncé. But Etta later backpedaled, saying it was all in good fun and she didn't mean to throw shade. She confessed she was just a little salty about not being asked to perform "At Last" herself, since it was basically her song. Etta wasn't afraid to speak her mind, and that often put her in the middle of some drama with music industry bigwigs. Her blunt opinions and no-filter attitude made her stand out, but they also sparked a few beefs over the years. She wasn't here to play nice, and that's part of what made her so unforgettable.
Yeah, how do you stay looking so fabulous?
I don't know. Maybe because Beyonce came along and I'm trying to keep up with her.
She had a rocky relationship with Chess Records, even though they helped her drop some of her biggest hits. She wasn't exactly feeling the creative control they gave her, leading to some serious tension with the label. Etta wasn't about to let anyone mess with her music, and those clashes were all about her standing her ground and staying true to her artistic vision. She wasn't afraid to speak her mind, especially when it came to music. She had some strong opinions about where the industry, like I said before, and also had opinions on where the industry was headed and didn't hesitate to call out the new trends or certain artists. While some loved her honesty, it definitely ruffled a few feathers too. She went through some major personal losses that really hit her hard. The craziness of the music industry, plus her own battles, made it tough to keep her relationship steady. One of the biggest blows was losing her mom, Dorothy Hawkins. Their relationship had its ups and downs, but that bond was real, and her mom's death left a huge mark on Etta. She also lost a lot of close friends and fellow musicians over the years. The music world, with all its drama and chaos, claimed the lives of many of her peers. Losing so many friends, especially to addiction and health problems, hit her hard. It really showed how unpredictable and fragile life can be in an industry full of crazy highs and devastating lows. Her addiction caused major drama in her personal life. The whole back-and-forth cycle of using, rehab, and relapsing made it hard for her to keep solid relationships. On top of that, all the legal and health struggles she was dealing with only made things worse, leaving her feeling pretty isolated and alone at times. Kinda gets you to wonder a little, doesn't? Maybe being a star isn't all it's cracked up to be. Let's talk about Etta M's amazing career.
That was Etta James receiving a well-deserved Grammy Award that was 4 hard decades in the making. She had many.
Etta's "At Last" isn't just a song, it's her song. The track is so iconic, it's basically synonymous with her name. But here's the thing. While it was originally written for a 1941 movie and sung by Glenn Miller, it was Etta's version that made the world really take notice. When Etta laid down the vocals for "At Last" in 1960, it was like magic happened. Her voice, rich and full of soul, turned a classic tune into a powerful love anthem. The moment she sang the first line, you could feel the emotion in every word. It was like she was singing your love story. The lush orchestration paired with Etta's raw emotion made this song a massive hit. And it wasn't just any hit, it became a forever classic. Lines like, "At last my love has come along," hit different, making it the go-to jam for anyone talking about true love. And it doesn't stop there. At Last has been covered by everyone, popped up in movies, TV shows, and commercials, and is the ultimate wedding song. It's the love anthem. Then, when Etta performed it at the 1994 Winter Olympics, it was like the song got a whole new wave of fans. It was a moment that reminded the world of just how incredible her talent was. Bottom line, At Last is everything that makes Etta James legendary. Raw, real emotion, and a voice that connects with everyone, everywhere. Etta James wasn't just a legend. She racked up 6 Grammys over her career. Her first win came in 1995 for Mystery Lady, Songs of Billie Holiday, a tribute to her idol. In 2003, she received a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, honoring her impact across genres. In 1993, she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, solidifying her place in music history. She also earned a spot in the Blues Hall of Fame, known for her soulful interpretations of blues classics. Plus, she has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, proof of her legendary status. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know your favorite Etta moment in the comments below.